If you're one of those people whose first instinct in cases of youth violence is to blame the parents, The Quiet Son, the new Venice competing title from directors Delphine and Muriel Coulin, 17 Girls, has a valuable perspective, telling the believably downbeat story of a 22-year-old French guy who becomes embroiled in right-wing street politics, exclusively from the point of view of his loving but uncomprehending father. If, however, you're already of the opinion that the issue is more complex than simple parental negligence, the solidly straightforward film has less to offer, as it states and restates the problem of rising, increasingly aggressive alt-right sympathies among young, working-class populations, without providing any novel or particularly useful insights into it. Adapted by the Coulin sisters from the book Ce qu'il faut de nous by Laurent Petit-Mangin, the film's main attraction beyond its torn from the headline's topicality, is Vincent Lindon, so often cast as a blue-collar worker he could confidently launch his own line of high-vis jackets and durable workwear, once again making the most of a gruffly synthetic everyman role. Playing railway repairman Pierre, a father who has raised two sons single-handedly following the death of their mother when they were boys, Lindon presents an entirely convincing portrait of Pierre's arid anguish at gradually losing one of them to an ideology that, as a Frenchman of an age to have grown up in the wake of May 68, he cannot himself understand. The sons form a believable if slightly formulaic dichotomy between book-smart, Sorbonne-bound Louis, Stephen Crépon, and sporty technical college dropout Fuss, Benjamin Voisin, a nickname short for Fussball, which he acquired as a soccer-mad kid. That it has a German derivation is unsurprising. The family lives in the historically contested French region of Lorraine, which has its own proud regional identity, making its inhabitants ripe targets for anti-immigration rhetoric on two different levels. "You can become French," says Fuss during one fractious exchange with his dad, "but you are born Lorrainian." As the movie begins, Fuss has already fallen in with a crew of far-right sympathizers, whom Pierre shuns, and with whom he forbids him to fraternize, as long as he's living at home. But he doesn't realize how deeply embedded his son already is, and how often he has been lying about his whereabouts, until an SNCF co-worker claims to have recognized Fuss among the gang of agitators thuggishly disrupting a left-wing leafleting campaign. Pierre automatically covers for his boy, but back at home confronts him, leading to the first of Fuss' many walkouts. Yet he always seems to gravitate back home, where he will always be forgiven. One of movie's best aspects is the touching closeness that exists between all three characters, even when any one of them is on the outs with the other. One night when Pierre stumbles in late having drunk through his worries for his son, Fuss creeps into his father's room to tenderly remove the boots he never took off before passing out. Same goes for the brotherly bond, as beautifully played by Crépon and Voisin, with Louis sometimes taking Fuss' side against Pierre, even though he shares none of his siblings' burgeoning neo-fascist leanings, but just as often petitioning Fuss to cut Dad some slack.